Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Yeah.
I hit stop streaming. All right, we should be good though. Yeah. All right, what is good for the culture family? We are taking a look here at EUR USD coming off of the previous 4 hours. So if we take a look here, we got 22 seconds until this closes here. But this current 4-hour candle is closing as a bearish 4-hour candle. So what we want to see is a continuation of that bearish 4-hour move. You can see the rejection that price had off of this key level here. Though price did in fact break above our key highs above, or excuse me, price is in fact breaking out of this downwards trend that we had been in. And now we're starting to see what appears to be a correction after retesting at the top of that level there. Price immediately pushed down, got a correction back up, and then a push back down. So what I'm looking for is to scale in on this bearish move to the downside for a continued move here. So what we could see is it could happen in this 15, realistically, the 5-minute and even the 1-minute time frame within where we're at currently. If we get, let's say, some type of bearish reaction off of immediately where we're at right now, as you can see, price is creating lower lows and lower highs, and we're just looking to get that continuation of that volume to the downside there for a continued move to the downside. About a 1 and 2. So what I'm looking for is essentially the top wick to be formed on this current 30 or 15-minute candle, and for a bearish flip to the downside. Where I'll look to take my profits is at this resistance here. That's where I'll look for my profit target to be. Looking at about a 1 to 2 risk to reward is where I'm gonna look for it on today's trade. So I want to see this flip bearish. It doesn't have to be in this current 5-minute candle, but likely within this current 15. And for the 30-minute to flip bearish, 4-hour to continue pushing to the, or the 1 hour to continue pushing to the downside, likely with the 4-hour as well. So coming off of that previous 4-hour volume, you can see that we have a gap here, or not a gap, excuse me, but you can see that price has a candle that does not have a bottom wick here. So we'll look for that to get filled at this resistance over here. So we're going to take a look and keep an eye on the smaller time frame here for a plausible entry. For a continued sell move to the downside. So we got what, 2 minutes and 30 seconds until this 5-minute candle closes. So I'm not in on a trade yet, quite yet. It appears that this current 5-minute will close bullish. So we'll likely want to wait until after we start to get this bullish correction, and then look for our continued move to the downside. Take out these lows, previous 4-hour lows, and then to ultimately test the resistance down here. other trading platform. So simply, that's what we'll be looking for this session. For a continued move to the downside. Yeah, 5-minute candle is going to close bearish. See if we can start to get some bearish volume. Bullish, excuse me. 5-minute candle closes bullish. Let's see if we can get some bearish volume off of where we're at currently. So if this candle closes as this bearish candle, I'm going to go ahead and take a short. And it's looking like that's what it's going to be. And she just absolutely starting to rip here. All right, I just took a sell position here, stops above this high, targeting back down into these lows. Take profit is going to be set down here. For about a 1 to 2 risk to reward for that trade. Oh man. Oh wow. See if we can get this 5-minute candle to close bearish. And we see a steeper move to the downside. That's my first initial trade for today at a 0.5 risk to reward. So looking for about a 1% risk in total risk percentage on the day. All right, took a 0.5 if I'm not mistaken on that trade. Just came off of this 5-minute candle and closed bullish. Got another bullish flip for a steeper move to the upside. So where could price retest in terms of this structure? So we have a bearish move to the downside. Now I don't think it's likely that we get this steep move to the upside, but this is technically our key high. So anywhere within, even if price could retest all the way up to here, a move back down from this level would be likely, but I don't think that we're going to get this steep of a move to the upside. I think that this bullish wave is going to be short-lived and that we'll see a likely possible a plausible likely flip to the downside. How long is this? See if we can't get a 5-minute candle flip. I want to see the first 5-minute candle to close bearish would be probably the best or the safest sell entry for this continuation move. It's just that this week we've seen it be consistent that price has just pushed with a lot of volume in our session time this week. A ton of volume in our session time, which caused us, some missed opportunities, or at least more specifically kind of last week, not I wouldn't say all this week. So on a smaller time frame, I have to respect that price did create a higher low. So what invalidated the trade, price creating lower lows and lower highs. Trade we took this morning was within this bearish candle here as price tapped into this level because we had just created a new low. Wanted to see that low get continued. What happened? Price broke through that high there, coming off of that previous 5-minute bullish candle. My screen is lagging here. And then continue pushing bullish. So we took that at a 0.5, looking for another plausible scale in entry level, somewhere likely of where we're at. Could be a retest level where we could start to see that shift and change of character to the downside. Price is just coming off of a lot of volume currently though. And we haven't really dialed into the larger time frame, which is coming off of a bullish breakout here on the 4-hour time frame. But it's still likely that since this previous 4-hour candle formed closed as a bearish, it's likely that we still get a steeper move to the downside. Well, we already broke this low here. Let me see. Because essentially what I want to see was a break of the previous 4-hour low, which was to fill, that gap of the candle we had no bottom wick on, and then that continued move to the downside. But you can just see we're just getting a strong bullish reaction off of this level, or from this level, or I wouldn't say super strong, but we are getting a bullish, what would be considered a corrective structure, because we're in this bearish wave within here, because that bearish wave is what we're looking to trade there. Um, 5-minute closes in. Five-minute closes in a minute, and realistically, like I said, the first 5-minute bearish candle would likely be the best type of entry. Let's take a look at gold. What's happening on gold here? Kind of the same thing. Kind of see some resistance starting to form here for gold. Previous 4-hour, oh man, It doesn't show it on Trade Locker, but the previous 4 hour actually closed as a bearish candle. It still says we got an hour or 45 minutes until this current candle closes. It's only been 15 minutes in the session. So if we take a look at what we see happening on gold on the, let's say, 5-minute time frame here, price came down, created lower lows and lower highs, pushed back up, and it could start to begin to see that bearish move to the downside from where we're at currently for price to now come back through and break through these lows. See how that 4 hour candle or that 5-minute candle closed for, okay. See, we got kind of a rejection off of this level here. Previous 5-minute candle did close bullish, so we have to, or yeah. Still waiting. This is one of like 4 or 5 accounts. I've only traded this one account realistically this week. We're still in total up 5K on the month. This is a challenge account that we're looking to pass. So my premium entry, if we're looking for a sell for a continuation down, my premium entry would be from up in here in these levels. There's no real, I guess you can say, like retest level where we're at currently, unless you look at it like, let's say, on the 1-minute time frame where you see that we have this resistance here. But if we look at it, price here is creating higher highs and higher lows until we get a break below this low here. Technically, we just gotta wait. Literally just have to sit on our hands and wait. There's nothing much more that we can do in this current moment. With EUR, USD, or gold, realistically, being that it's in this in-between structure, we could look to scale into this bullish move since we did have our smaller time frame change of character, Price just broke it through another high. Market structure shift. Coming off of the two previous 15-minute candles. Possible scaling entry to our retest location up here. We're up in resistance now. If I look to take this buy trade, it'll likely not be on this account. I'll likely trade one of my other accounts because I'm more inclined to taking sales from up here. So I'll take it at a reduced risk on a different account because we don't want this account to slip away from us. You know what I mean? I want to take my highest probable setups on this account. What is this? Gold just started pushing down off the 1 minute. Coming down with a little bit of volume there. Gold, not quite as pretty as EU. Let's see. We're going to get a retest down. Doesn't look like we're going to get our retest down for that continuation play. 5 minutes, still chance to close bearish here. There we go. Let's go like this. Let's see if we can get a retest and a continuation, which would equate in a 15-minute candle flip. But I don't like the thought of buying off of this if this current 5-minute candle closes bearish, because it's likely we see a steeper move coming off of this candle. We'll see. Let's see, we got a minute. So if this is going to buy up, it would have to show a strong sign of a rejection at this area and then continue pushing up. If not, we could because that means that this current 5-minute candle, I mean, you got a minute and 30 seconds until this 5-minute candle here closes. This is what. So yeah, it's looking like we can get a push to the downside here, potentially to start that flip. especially if this current 5-minute candle is going to close as a bearish candle. A 15-minute candle bearish close would be a much better sign for an entry though. Yeah. So I'm scaled in at a relatively small risk on here. See if I can show it to you guys. Here we go. So not on this account because it's acting weird. But I had taken a small position within this area. I closed portions of it just because of this rejection in this 5-minute candle not looking the most ideal for a sell move to the downside. Just really not. So let's go top down analysis. Move drawings coming off the 4-hour candle. Previous 4-hour candle rejected off of a key high level, right? We got all of this volume in here. It's likely that we anticipate that our 4-hour will close as this current 4-hour will close as a bearish 4-hour candle. Likely that we see this move to the downside, break through this low, and then that continued bearish move there. We really just want to see this area. Oh well, it doesn't necessarily need to come and make a bottom wick here. I thought that this area didn't have a bottom wick, but it in fact does have a bottom wick. But even still, coming off of this current 15-minute candle, as it's going to close bearish, looks like here in the next minute and 20 seconds or so, that still causes this 30-minute to close bullish. So it'll be interesting to see how price reacts in the current area. Because if this 30-minute candle closes bullish, what I would realistically anticipate the next thing to happen is for another one to form a bottom wick and then fill this wick to the upside for a steeper move up. Kind of conflicting data we got here for this session. This looks solid for that continuation down. but just is it going to have enough volume to close as a bearish, 30-minute candle? And then if we take a look on the 1 minute time frame, is this just going to be our retest into this level for a continued bullish move to the upside? We'll have to wait and see. Right now it does show a good sign. I think we got one more candle. 30 minutes. Still looks like the 30-minute is going to be closing bullish here. Did the 30-minute start yet? Just started. Let's see if we tap into these levels but don't break this low. We could likely see a correction, deeper move to the upside. That's what I can see for right in this most immediate time frame. I mean, previous 15-minute close bearish. And I'm more inclined to taking trades when all my time frames generally align. So previous 4-hour just closed bearish, kind of like what we've seen for the past 2 weeks more consistently. Previous 4-hour candle closed bearish to see that continued bearish moves to the downside. But then I would want to see, obviously on the 30-minute time frame for us to do some form, or not 30-minute, 15-minute time frame for us to do some form of a retest and a continuation down. This candle was has closed as a bullish candle within this level here. We're just getting this bottom wick, it looks like. And if this low isn't broken, it's likely that you get a fill of this high. So let's see. I just am not a fan of this current 30-minute. But as far as the 15-minute down, the structure does look good to make a bearish move. And then, you coming off of that previous 4-hour that had so much volume here. It's just that this 30-minute candle closing as a bullish candle within this area doesn't make me want buys as much. I think a better move would be for this gap up to get filled by a bullish play from this current level here. As long as this previous 30-minute candle isn't broken, I think that that's more likely and that you see something of a potential flip up. Now I could be wrong, but this is what I see potentially. But what would have to happen for this to execute? Okay, for one, you want to get a bullish 1-minute candle to close off of this level. Boom. All right, you just got the first bullish 1-minute candle to close off of this level. What is this? Long position. Then you would want to see your 5-minute time frame flip and continue pushing bearish. You definitely don't want to see this current 1-minute break through this low, or then even the next 1 minute to break through that low. And then you would target this high. This is our retest level. If price does close bearish at this level without continuing to push up and this current 5-minute candle closes bearish, we could see that top wick and a continuation down to fill this wick. What would be the first thing that invalidates that price is going to move up is if this low gets broken. Let's see this move. Exactly what we wanted to see. Let's go to the 5-minute. Yeah, so that low got broken there. It's likely that this is just going to continue pushing down to the downside. Coming off of that, it's going to break through this low. If it breaks through this low, this gives us one more possible entry level that I could look to take. Price would have just created a high that broke through a low. We'll look for a retest of the high and then a continuation to break through that low. That'll give us our 4-hour candle flip from being bullish to now bearish, and then we could see that steeper move coming off of that bearish candle there. Last and final plausible, shall I say, entry for the day. It's right off of that resistance. You know what's crazy about this move here that happened right off of this resistance is it looks just like CPI of last week. Like we had news release, CPI pushed down, we had a correction and continuation. That was the first initial entry. Then we looked to get essentially the retest play, which is kind of what we tried to get today here. Well, not even a retest play. Price came into this level, it pushed down, pushed back up a little bit steeper, and then began to push down. We ended up taking this 1% loss here after the price pushed off of that level and then came back up, made one more steeper move to the upside, and it's looking like it's going to break through that low now. This is almost identical to what happened to us last week for CPI. I'm not going to sit here. What day is this? Is this like yesterday? Oh, no, this is yesterday. That's NFP. I think it was like right in here. Man, my stuff is lagging. Let me see. All right. So I gotta dial down to 1 minute. Where was it at? Oh man. Okay, here we go. So you can see that this is literally almost copy and paste the same move. So we had that high volume, a correction. I wanted to see this move to the downside following the correction. It didn't give the candles that I wanted to break this low. Didn't take that there. So then we was looking at, all right, maybe we can get this retest play right here. When price retested off of that for a continuation down, took that entry after this candle closed bearish, took us out at break even. It went up to the last plausible entry location, which was up here, rejected off of that level, and then went to that target profit that we were looking for. And that's pretty much similar to what we're seeing happen today on EU. You can see that we had that high volume move to the downside, correction back up, broke through that low. This was news. Price pushed down, pushed back up into that level, came back down, pushed to the target. Oh my goodness. Did it just open like this? What just happened? Oh. Yeah, so this just dropped down. Yeah, so the only plausible entry from here going forward is if you see some type of correction and retest, likely of the 5-minute time frame to here. So you can see price just in fact created a new low, a retest of this level here for a continuation down is the last and final trade opportunity here. And we'll look to target whatever the low is that gets created. So it's likely that we won't, because what time is it? 9:42. Yeah, so we likely won't be on stream for this move here. And so if there are no questions, I'm likely just going to wrap it up here and then update you guys in the Telegram as, you know, price begins to move further forward, I guess is what I was trying to say, for that continuation to the downside. That's all that I would look for today coming off of that. So appreciate you